And because women hate each other, see, that
Welcome to the real world.
that situation, by her doing that and me seeing the women rally, that opened my eyes to the wickedness of women.
There it is.
That is what opened my eyes to the wickedness of women. And I said, oh.
This is what men have been saying forever.
So women do
What I said they do.
create stuff
Out of thin air.
and try to destroy a person's life.
Reputation
and if
destruction.
you're seen as the stronger person,
The masculine.
women will
Victimize.
weaponize their perceived
Come on.
weakness
Duh.
and play the victim.
How can you be doing all of this content and put it in front of women's eyes talking about that men are not as intelligent, that men are this? You created that. The content that we're going to go over here today is just a chef's kiss of content. Trust me, this video was uploaded, let's look at the analytics, 7 months ago at 484,000 views. That is insane. Title of this video, Man-Bashing Dating Guru Gets Exposed in the Worst Way. Now, this content is over an hour, so I'm just going to give you guys a brief synopsis to get you caught up. But the video was essentially this lovely young woman right here talking about the end of a relationship with this lovely young man right here. You know what? Let me be respectful, okay? This lovely young woman right here, they were in a lesbian relationship, but this one right here is a larger content creator on the platform who many of her talking points is completely like outrageous, but many of her talking points and her ideologies is somewhere around men are inferior to women, here are the reasons why, matriarchy.
Man can't be inferior to women because man was created before women and created by God. And women were created from man by God. So we're not even going to go in the inferiority complex. We just know that there's a standard and it's man, woman, child, and animal. That's how it's supposed to be. If it's not that way, you don't want to be with that woman. Cut her. She out of here. She's gonna bring you nothing but headaches, argument. She's gonna destroy the home, and you will not have peace. Because every time you listen to the woman, you're gonna feel pain for it.
Would be beneficial within our society today. Yada yada yada. A lot of stuff. But essentially, throughout her talking points, she has accumulated a platoon, an army of incredibly hurt women that love to bash men, while also speaking about the victimization of womanhood and then how to get out of that victimization. Which, when I did this original piece of content, was very interesting to me because this woman, after all of that, after whatever several month relationship, comes out and says, I won the victim, and here is the reason why. Well, after all of that, this content creator has got up on and did a podcast speaking about what had happened from her perspective and finally admits one of the major things that I've said on my platform for the last several years, and it being that, yes, there's dudes out there that ain't shit. We acknowledge those and we try to upgrade those, but don't be over here acting like women is sugar, spice, and everything nice. But what we understand is that men practice aggression a lot differently than how women practice aggression. But the difference is that there's laws, there's consequences for the way that men practice aggression, whereas with women, for reputation destruction, manipulation, innuendo, and because there's no consequences, it sets up the incentivization for a woman to try to destroy you by any means necessary. Anyway, that's enough of the introduction. Let's get into some of her comments. Without further ado,
You know, you're so knowledgeable. I just be wanting to pick your brain on stuff. But, you know, we have, was it Baylor TV? Or
You ain't got to say a name, but you messed it up and good. You messed it up.
Yeah. Quote unquote, your ex.
Yeah.
You know, she threw shots at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Her ex. She's a lesbian. What a mess.
She basically said you groomed her into a relationship, which is the wildest shit I've ever heard. How do you groom somebody into a relationship? But anyway, and she basically threw just a lot of different accusations at you. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying you're a fraud, you know, and things like that. So what do you have to say about the quote unquote you're a fraud? Because I did start seeing people start commenting, oh, I watched this video and I don't look at her the same. I've seen people actually react to that. And again, me and you talked off camera, and we said it's never about the truth anymore. It's about who can tell the best story. And sometimes the people that can tell the best story can actually control the minds of the people,
the narrative,
which then will have the people turning on you. And you know, we're public figures, right? You're out here, you're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? You're preaching your message, and then something like this hits you. Number one, are you okay? Like when things go public about something so intimate, you know, we wear it, you know how it goes. We wear it, but that shit does hurt. Like somebody that you actually fuck with, somebody that you actually pour time and energy into, to go online and make accusations, that hurts.
The context around the grooming is that the other woman said that it was her first lesbian experience, and that this woman groomed her into starting it. I never like to talk of grooming when it comes to two consenting adults. You both can make an appropriate decision. No one is holding you by the hair and is forcing your face down into doing something. But I do think that the interviewer here brings out a fantastic point. If you do not control the story, if you do not have a good narrative, then people may not believe you. But let's see your thoughts.
It hurts. So here's the thing. See, she didn't like the fact that I'm not as emotional as her. Her whole goal was to try to hurt me however she could. So she was the type of person that I just could not mentally handle. I couldn't mentally withstand the stuff that she was putting me through. So
Are you seeing what's happening here? She got traumatized by her mom. That's why she doesn't like guys, because she hates her mom, and she ended up being with someone that's just like her mom. That is crazy. And now she find out that this girl wanted to control her, but she's not emotional like her. So for a woman to be able to control you, you need to be emotional. And guess who's are mostly emotional? Women are normally emotional because they use it as a feel. They like to feel good. They like to feel good and da. Same with man. If the woman notice she can't control you, the hell is gonna come out of her, because she's gonna say, I can't control this one. And she's going to try to get some reaction from you for you to be emotional so she can control the situation. But let's hear what's happening.
I actually broke up with her in January.
Toxic.
Oh, Lord.
And so we had been broken up for 4 months. But I'm the type of person that's like, we can remain friends. We don't have to be together. We don't have to.
Why you want to be friends with the devil? I mean, you know what? Let's
don't
hear
have
the
to
story.
be no beef, because I ain't never done nothing to you. I ain't never done nothing but try to be a good friend to you.
Right.
But she was putting me through a lot of hell. She would always
A lot of hell. You already in hell.
talk about being. She had these dark thoughts. She would even tell me that she would see demon faces. Like,
whoa. But she probably loved it. She probably loved it, actually, because she's still a woman, and women love the thrills. That's interesting.
she was really going through some mental stuff, right? And she was she was really causing me a lot of pain. And like I was physically hurting me. I couldn't.
Yeah, there you go. She's trying to draw that emotion out of her. Drag it out. Come here. Let me control you. She's going to do something to get that emotion out of you. She's going to do something.
Deal with her. And so I broke up with her in January. And fast forward 4 months later, she thought it was a game, that I would not move on. Well, she found out that I moved on with someone else after 4 months. 4 months after we broke up, I finally moved on. And I'm still with my current girlfriend that I moved on with.
She left one hell and went back right into another hell. It's so funny. She left one relationship and end up with the same person in a different relationship because she's not working on herself. She's chasing after mama's love, and mama's love is not real. She lied to you. Your mom lied to you because your mom, women don't know how to love. They're evil, and she's looking for it, and she will not find it. She will not find it. She should go and look for a man that's seeking God, because that's the only way she'll actually know what true love is. That's the only way. She's searching for love. Wow. Wow.
When she found out that I actually moved on, I was on a TikTok live talking about my new book that I had just created. She came in the comment section and she started doing some hoorah stuff. And she, in the comment section, because I was telling the people, I said, y'all might hear that I date women or whatever. You just got to understand, I ain't trying to get with you. I got somebody, I'm cool. And she come in the comment section and she say, yeah.
Okay, she's crazy. She's crazy.
She dating somebody in her book club. So I turn around, I see that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm dating somebody in my book club. My moderator saw her and immediately blocked her because she started crap in the comment section. She calls me while I'm on live and starts screaming and hollering at me. Why you block me? I'm like, my hand ain't even on the camera. I didn't block you. Yes, you did, screaming. And I mean, she's screaming at the top of her lungs. Why would you tell them that you moved on? Why would you tell them? Because you know why? Because she was a struggling content creator. And so she had had a breakup with her baby daddy. Now, so she got 2 different baby daddies, and she ain't with neither.
What a mess. No wonder she ain't have the baby daddies around. They couldn't handle the craziness that is in her. And you are trying to handle that craziness, but you crazy too as well. Because craziness only attracts craziness. So unless you're working on yourself, okay?
Right.
You will see the craziness coming from a mile away, and you're gonna pack your bags and run.
And so she broke up online with her second baby daddy. So
that wasn't a red flag for you?
Huh?
Right.
No.
Okay.
No, this
Shout out to the interviewer for calling that out. It's funny to me how these fake dating gurus will tell you everything that you need to know in order to fix your life, but then you look within the intricacies of their own life and you're like, well, but you ain't conducting your shit correctly. So how can you coach me? She got 2 different baby daddies.
Doesn't matter. We're not here to judge or nothing. We're here to see what's happening, to point out certain things that you yourself need to look for. And for you to learn what's happening with you. We're not here to judge. We're just here to listen, and that's about it. We don't care.
Want to be with her. She tells you that she's in self-deletion mode. She tells you that she sees demon face.
If she says that, yo, she's literally crazy. She's one with the devil, man. What the?
And you are still interacting with her. Not only that, but you're reaching down into your subscribers, this one being in your book club, to have more relationships with those that follow you. That's why in the last video, I believe I called her something like Princelle the Stud Maker instead of Queen Maker. But let's get into the most important part of this conversation.
Just so you know, I don't agree with on MTR takes on dating and all that stuff. I don't agree with it. But because you're in your primal state, it makes sense for what he's saying when he goes over a video like pop the balloon and all of that, because you're in your primal state. But you're in your animal state, which I understand. I was there. Totally understand. But just because you use lust to make content and to push it into society more, I disagree with that, with those takes, because guess what? That's part of the problem as well. Because you're a man and you're sitting there lusting after these women. That's the biggest sin. You're creating adultery right then and there. So I don't agree with it. But let's move on.
This is what she's doing.
Gotcha.
Right. So because she broke up online, she tells me this, and she sent it to me in a text message. I don't want to look like a fool. I already broke up and had a terrible breakup online.
Look like a fool? Who are you to look like a fool? You don't even know who you are. You don't know who you are. And yet you look like a fool? I'm confused. She doesn't even know who she is. Who is the fool? Who is the fool though? Let me know who's the fool she's talking about. If you understand what is happening here. You still can make your comment. We'll chat about it.
I don't want to look like a fool. So what she was trying to do is make me look bad, right?
Reputation
By
destruction.
trying to make.
But who are you too? Who are you? See, these people have identified with it for so long, it thinks it's them. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting, isn't it?
Make it seem like I was because
I know I keep pausing, but if you're here to learn and understand what is happening, this is what the video is going to be like. If you just want to watch and be entertained, you can go watch it somewhere else. But we're here learning and understand what is happening. We're not here for mindless entertainment, okay?
she didn't want to now have two
And you're here, that means you're working on yourself.
baby daddies and then be broken up with a woman.
Right.
She didn't want the public to see that a woman had broke up with her. So what she was trying to do is beat somebody to the punch. And I'm like, I done left you alone. I didn't say, look, I even sent her to her job. I sent her like a bouquet of fruit to say that we don't have to be enemies or nothing. We can be friends. Man, they flipped that to be negative. She's narcissistic and gaslighting. Why would you send her fruit to her job? And so she told me one time, like when I had broke up with her, I had broke up with her one time before, and then I messed around and we had got back together. But during this little period of time where I had broke up with her, I was on live and doing things, and she gonna tell me, I felt some kind of way because I'm over here hurting and I'm over here crying, and you just online smiling like ain't nothing wrong with you. So she didn't like the fact that she couldn't get to me emotionally. So her way of thinking that she was
the devil can't get to you emotionally. Go find some way to get to you, and if he can, it's gonna ruin your life. So get ready.
Hurt me was to bring my child and smear my child all over the internet to say that I'm abusive, and she did it just because she wanted a response out of me.
Crazy.
Listen, man, I told you, you go end up with crazy women, they will ruin your life. The devil that's inside of her wanted a reaction because it can't control this woman. But she's crazy too, you can tell, she's crazy. But it couldn't control her, so guess what? The devil's gonna find some way to get you. It sets you up, yo, good times, yes, having the time of my life. And that's gonna betray you. And guess what the betray is? She's gonna go after your son now, your life, your job. Oh Lord, let's see where this goes.
And so she have them calling CPS and bringing CPS to my house on a totally fabricated lie.
The person who's watching this video right now,
What
whether or not you believe her story or the other chick's story, it's completely up to you. But what I would say to her is that the reason that a large majority of your audience, the reason why they fed into her bullshit is because you created the monster that you had to slay. You've oriented their mindsets to never have empathy for men. So they view you as the man in the relationship, and they hear about all these things that you're doing, and then they turn on you. That's you that did that. You created that audience. It was unbeknownst to you that you think as a woman that dresses like a dude that they're still going to be treating you like a woman. No, they're going to be treating you like a guy. Therefore, they're going to have unrealistic guy expectations for you. bump the logic within a situation. If her needs are not being met by the masculine, then the masculine is wrong.
All because
Not even. It's just that people are evil. And it's because the woman has the spirit of her mom inside of her. It's not necessarily what he says, but I get it. He's talking about nature that way. Cool, but when you understand deeper that it's not her and it's not the other woman, their mom will was imposed on them to hate, and they think it's love because you want this person to love you the way you want it to be loved. Is that love? That can't be love. You actually hate that person. That's what it is. It's actually hate. And you don't know. You think it's love because it's portraying movies. You've grown up thought this way. And you have identified for so long, you think it's love. When deep down you hate this person. Because they're not loving you how you should be loved. So guess what? I'm going to come after you and show you how you should love me. How is that even love? How?
you're mad that I broke up with you and moved on with somebody else, and that I wasn't crying and showing signs of emotional instability. That's what all of that was about. And because women hate each other, see, that situation.
Yo, this is hilarious, actually.
Her doing that and me seeing the women rally, that opened my eyes to the wickedness of women.
There it is.
She said women hate each other. Of course you guys hate each other. You pretend like it's love. It's hate. Your mom, your grandma, your friends, they've been taught by their mom, and this mom has been taught by, this girl has been taught by their mom, and you both become friends, and you think you guys are friends, and you think you guys love each other, but you guys actually hate each other. That's hilarious.
That is what opened my eyes to the wickedness of women. And I said, oh.
This is what men have been saying forever.
So women do
What I said they do.
create stuff
Out of thin air.
and try to destroy a person's life.
Reputation
and if
destruction.
you're seen as the stronger person,
The masculine.
women will
Victimize.
weaponize their perceived
Come on.
weakness
Duh.
and play the victim. They throw rocks and hide their hand, and that, because I had never done that. So I didn't realize that women ain't like me.
There it is.
I didn't realize.
No, we are all the same. We are all evil. It's not even her. It's the spirit of her mom, same like how it's the spirit of you, that your mom lied to you about love, and you're searching for love because you hate your mom. You end up being with a woman just like your mom, and you think it's love. No, it's not. We're all evil. And when you can come to terms and look inside yourself and know, yo, I'm evil. Have you ever noticed? Have you yourself ever noticed how you manipulate a situation just to get what you want out of the situation? Isn't that pure evil? That is pure conniving evil. Especially women, because they're good at this. Women, they're diabolical at this because they have taught by their mom at an early age to be conniving people. Isn't that interesting?
As that women were not like. Now I
How could you not realize? How can you be doing all of this content and put it in front of women's eyes talking about that men are not as intelligent, that men are this? You created that. Your inability, at least at that point, to understand the destructive nature of the irrationality of many women today deems you unfit to coach women. Flat out. And the reason for that is because you're missing a key component to make themselves a worthy option for a man. But see, at the end of the day, that's not your goal. Because as being a stud maker, why would you want the women to date men? you want the women to date you. But in regards to her comments regarding the wickedness of women,
that's just pure evil. Turning women into lesbian. That's evil. That's a woman you want to run away from, okay? Woman, don't go following this woman. She's not a woman of God. She's a child of the devil. And she's leading you. You're already in hell. But if you stay there and you die there, God help your soul.
Not all, but we've all as men seen some shit. But in regards to it, Jordan Peterson actually has spoken about it before.
I'm sure that you've met women in your life that acted towards you in a bullying and detestable manner. It's very difficult for women to cope with that because they don't have any real recourse. And female bullying can be unbelievably vicious. And usually that takes the shape of reputation destruction, innuendo, and gossip. It's well documented. It's very difficult to defend. Men do it too, but men, no. But
disproportionately women, in any of you or not, sir?
Yes, disproportionately women. That's what the data indicate. I mean, if men
What
are...
is the data on innuendo and gossip?
Well, it's among antisocial behavior among adolescents. It's a well-documented field. So because people look at aggressive and antisocial behavior in women and in men, and in women it tends to take the expression of innuendo, gossip, and reputation destruction, and in men it tends to take the form of outright physical aggression. There's a whole literature on that. It's not a surprise to anyone. This has been known for 30 years. Look, women have to express aggression somehow unless you're willing to say that they're not aggressive. They tend not to do it physically, not to the degree men do, so they use other channels. And what other channels are there other than physical aggression if you're going to be aggressive?
They're conniving about it, diabolical about it. They're crazy. They manipulate situations about it. But that's still anger. And also, man, get rid of your anger. You're not supposed to have anger. Any man and woman that have anger and fear, they're wicked.
Aggressive. You go after them with innuendo and gossip and reputation destruction, and that's how it works.
And just to be clear, you think that's predominantly a female modus operandi?
It isn't that I think that.
I'm
It's that
asking
the
you.
clinical literature indicates that. It isn't that I think it.
I'm not interviewing the clinical literature, I'm interviewing you. What do you
Well,
think?
I'm a psychologist and a scientist, and I tend to base my opinions on what I've read in the broad, relevant clinical literature. I'm not making this stuff up. I studied antisocial behavior for like 15 years. I'm actually quite an expert on it.
It would serve women better when they can understand not only their own nature, but the nature of other women around them, so they can ensure that they're not in an echo chamber long enough.
Only in women?
Enough to reach their end goal. Let's continue.
Experienced a lot of the same things that women was experiencing
Right.
at the hands of men.
Right. But you never been on the other
But
side
I've
of it.
never been on the other side because I wasn't doing to men what these women be doing.
Right. So so just to follow real quick, right? So when men in the past were
So hold on. You have a kid. So that means you had a man before you turned a lesbian. So why is that man not with you anymore? I would love to know why the man is not with you anymore. Because it shows he couldn't handle you. That man could not handle you. I'm not sure if you're raised by a single mom. Or even if you're raised by a two-family household. It seems like your dad couldn't handle your mom either. Because you is a representation of your mom. By default.
Telling you about some, because I've watched Great Dads. I've watched.
And I understand that it's not her. It's the spirit of her mom. And she needs to understand and get rid of it.
Women get online and say that they were great dads and see people rally behind it, and it's like a total lie. I've seen a lot of wild things that have happened, right?
Yeah.
I've seen people get stabbed, shot behind a woman, and you know, like all kind of different shit. So when you are on the other side,
Shit, the brick face situation, lies.
out of it, did that then start making you change your philosophy or updating it a little
I
bit?
still didn't change my philosophy because the philosophy is the same. But what I realized is that I already knew women had issues and that they needed to be helped. But I realized how deep the problem really is. I realized, like, let's say this is where women need to go. And this is the absolute bottom that a woman can be at. I thought that women might have been right here. I thought they might have been right here and they just needed some help to get here. But after that, I realized that women down here, instead of me thinking they were here, needed to go here, I see that they're here instead. That they are worse than what I had originally thought.
Yeah, so in other words, let's say you go into the doctor's office and you have a broken bone, but the doctor looks at your broken bone and assesses it to be a cut. And therefore the solution to the cut, which is actually a broken bone, is to put a Band-Aid on it. Putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone will never fix the broken bone. In order to create the burning platform for change, you have to understand it at a granular level. Because if you don't, then you may prescribe the incorrect medication.
Right, because I feel like
Yeah, you have to work on you. You have to work on the inside. That's the only way. And most people work on the outside. And even when they work on the inside, you have to understand what is happening on the inside to help the inside. But that's crazy. But I think, I shouldn't assume, but I think she's crazy, man. This woman is crazy.
if a man's ugly, he
The hell will break loose out of her.
says to himself, well, I got to get money.
Yeah.
Or if a man lacks in something, he knows, it's like he's very self-aware where he has to improve. And I can't speak for women, so I don't know
Right.
what that is, but does that happen for women? Like, if you have a deficiency, do they know
They
where
don't.
they need to
No, the
improve?
women don't know. They're totally oblivious. Now, I've been very successful in getting women to see themselves.
How?
You would literally
How?
have to watch my interaction with them, because I do TikTok live,
Right.
and this is where I can really interact with women, And there's a show, okay? You can hear it because I did some call-ins. I did a show called "A Wife Equals a Hoe," pimps up, hoes down, on my YouTube channel, and I showed women that you might be a wife, but you got the mind of a hoe. All women are whores here. And I took a
What?
1984 documentary of a pimp with some hoes that work on the blade. And it was a 27-minute documentary. And we analyzed that, and I say, now tell me, what's the difference between the mentality of a wife and a hoe? It's identical.
What?
I mean, it's identical. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I mean, the quote-unquote bottom bitch was taking family pictures with the pimp. Like, you wouldn't have been able to tell that this wasn't a hoe working the blade. I mean, they sitting around in the family circle opening up presents and taking the baby to christening. I mean, it's a carbon copy mentality.
It is absolutely incredible to me, the more that I do content within this space, how some people are just destined to be taken advantage of. Like, what is this? This is so ridiculous to me. The comparison of a wife to a hoe in it that all women or up here, to me means that, at least from her perspective, that if you come under a holy matrimony with a man, you are then in a pimp-hoe relationship. AKA, don't be married to a man, be married to me. Because as the royal stud maker, I can do it better than any pimp can. Because a pimp is a man and men are evil. Ridiculous.
I was able to get women to see all of their screwed up mentality. And a lot of women was calling, damn, I was a hoe. I was fucking up. Damn, I was a narcissist. I was abusive in my relationship. I can get women to it. I can get women to see themselves in a way that can't nobody else do it.
Okay.
That's cap. That's cap. I bet those women are still crazy. The only way for you to work in yourself and get rid of it is by God. There's no person that can take it away from you. None. Nada. Zero. None. You're not supposed to even trust people. It says in the Bible, trust no one because you don't even know their heart. How is she going to take it away? She's going to give you some brain tricks, and then what? A year after, you're going to fall back in the same thing, because it starts in here. Can you stop going in here? Anytime you can stop going in here, that's when you know you're free. Because the devil have to set you up first. He has to have a conversation with you in here for you to go and do all of these actions. And to get rid of what's in here, you have to talk to God. Not physically, because God doesn't talk to you. We have to seek after him, and he will make things happen in the present, in the now that you're living. Not in your thoughts, not in the future, not in the past, but the future. It will happen in the future. So I'm so sorry. In the present. It will happen in the present. God lives in now. Like literally right now, I'm recording this. God is right here in the present with me. Not in my thoughts, because his thoughts are not my thoughts. Right? Now. So don't let anyone trick you and tell you that's the work of not God. And no one can get rid of it. What a mess.
Not a relation, not none of these femininity coaches, not none of these gurus. I got a way of being able to communicate to women, and I can
Blind
do
leading
that
the blind.
and make women come to the conclusion that I was wrong. I was wrong. Oh man, I see where I fucked up my relationship. I can get women to do that. Who you know can get a woman to say I was wrong?
Kevin?
Right? So, because at the end of the day, I think as humans, we are very destructive.
Listen, I can't get you to do anything. I can only show you what's happening here. And by your will, by the will of God, want to help you. That's the only way you will see it. I can't help you. I can't even help myself. God. It's only by God, okay? Remember that.
As humans, we're tearing up the planet. We're tearing up the world. Humans are a very destructive species. And we tear up each other, we destroy.
No, we're evil. We are all evil.
Our children, we destroy our communities. It's like everything we touch as human beings, we destroy it. We kill it.
Yeah.
But it's not you. But I understand.
It's completely this nihilistic view of the world. It's this negative view of the world. And typically when I see this style from content creators, it's don't look at the world, look at me. Because the world don't have the answers for you. Just look at these very anecdotal examples of bullshit happening. Look towards me because I have the answer. I can uncover the truth. And the fact of the matter is that being a black woman in the way that she talks about men, it's only like a cringe part of women today. And I hate to say it, but most of the women are low income, low barometer, ratchet, if you will, that will follow something, that will follow someone that appears to have the answers for them. But all right, I think that I'm done with her comments for right now.
Listen, the judging part, just listen to what he's saying, but have no opinion on it. No opinion, no emotional attachment to it. Just listen to what he's saying. That's about it. Okay?
Now, but it is interesting to hear some of these thoughts that force accountability
I'm kind of sick, just so you guys know.
onto women after all of this time. It's almost as if because she was exposed by this person that she was in a relationship with, she was in a conundrum, right, of having to combat the allegations against her while still trying to save components of her audience. But because she created this audience and nurtured this audience of unaccountable, they ended up looking at her as the villain. Drop some of your comments down below. I want to see what you guys think about this particular discussion.